19 years. 19 years is how long it took me to connect the dots between racial segregation and the fact that I've never seen anybody of color in my church. This rattles me. This shocks me. The church is supposed to be a place where Christian ideals are played out. There are black churches, Hispanic churches, white churches. Why is there this separation? Why have I not noticed this until now? Is the separation respecting other cultures, or is it racism of white evangelicals? What does the Bible say regarding the separation of Christians? Can I find answers to these questions? Do I need a better understanding of what I need to do to be anti-racist in the context of Christianity? Looking at the differences in churches helps me understand. The article A Quiet Exodus reads that the American church has been racially segregated for so long that segregation appears a natural feature of the church. My heart hurts when I hear this. Churches should not be separate because we are called to be in community with each other. I can't imagine living in a systemically racist white church that causes such a divide. Dish Nation on YouTube talks about the differences of the black and white church. Black choir versus white contemporary, call and response congregation versus the silent reverent congregation, story lead preaching versus scripture led preaching. I think all of these things are amazing ways to worship God. If we combine all of these into a church, we have a multicultural representation and it will bring people together, right? Isaac Adams says that people try to fix things by being colorblind. They think they are ministering by not seeing race, but that ignores the reality that God created diversity. The black church means more than just segregation. It's a community to tell the themes of the Bible, to uplift from the oppression that they face that other races won't understand. My gut says to combine everything into one style of church, but isn't that just white colonization that we've seen throughout history? I don't want that. Are my tendencies and thinking as a white person leading to this end? Is my instinct to conquer other people's way of life and make it my own? So I see two paths in front of me, combining or separating the cultures of the church to prevent racism. The best way to discover what is right is the Bible. What does God want me to live out? In the New Testament, Jesus' death was so that all races can have a personal relationship with God and thereby making all races equal in God's eyes. Then there's a scene where Paul is talking to some Jews who would not welcome others to worship God unless they got circumcised. Paul tells them basically to knock it off and respect others wanting to worship in their own way. I think that this shows me that it's not only disrespectful to other cultures to ask everyone to participate in one way of doing things, but it's ignorant to the meaning behind the acts of culture. Who am I to assume the meaning behind things that I can't understand? There's another thing I found from Kevin Mackins, who said that in Revelation, there is a vision that there will be people of every nationality, every background, every tongue, so many colors, scents, cultures, that no one could count them. This leads me to believe that God values the unique things of the different cultures. Instead of saying tons of people, it's saying people of all kinds. So we have different churches as a way of respecting the differences in culture, and God calls us to honor the differences. Then how am I called to use this information in my life? Witnessing Whiteness talks about white Christians and how they have a responsibility to give an account of themselves and then work towards God's liberation work as a means of reconciliation. It makes this claim by saying that Jesus was a radical revolutionary with hair in his chest and dirt under his fingernails. I guess what I'm trying to say is that I feel more at peace with the separation we create as long as I know it's honoring a culture that I can never fully understand. I am called to include everyone and respect differences, not to fight for uniformity, but uniqueness. Having black churches, white churches, and more isn't damaging, but essential. I want to make sure I check my urge to bring others together by combining things and ignoring what's unique to them. By doing so, I open up possibilities to learn things. Culture makes us unique. It uplifts. It frees from oppression. It honors God. Thank you.